Hello, beautifuls. Welcome. So I am just working my way through the list of questions you guys had for me on Monday. And the next question I'm going to answer is from Amy, and she asks, any tips on not panicking when work is stressful? Okay. So our stress response is that fight, flight, freeze. Stress response is not always a bad thing, right? Stress response is something that we have evolutionarily developed so that when there was the threat of attack by an animal or some type of predator, that our body would go into that fight, flight, freeze. Hopefully the flight or the fight more than the freeze, unless that would be appropriate for the situation, so that for survival, right? So you're fighting back or you're running away. And our body has this physiological reaction to that. Now, our body is also reacting to an emotional state like whatever might be happening at work for Amy with her question here that is affecting our physiology of the body. And if we go into the energy center that is related here, it's the root chakra. And in our root chakra, if you're feeling this way, panicked about the stress at work, then typically we're not going to feel safe. We're not going to feel stable. We're not going to feel secure. So I want to ask, what about work? And we can all do this together. So just fill in the blank with whatever's stressing you out in this situation. What about work is making you stressed in the first place? Okay. So instead of just addressing this panicky feeling around the fact that you have stress, instead, let's address that stress state and figure out what is creating that sense of panic and stress in the first place. So what is coming up for you at work that triggers this feeling of fight, flight, or freeze? Fill in those blanks. What makes you feel those things at work in this situation, but it could apply to many of you in different situations. And then how does that make you feel? How does it make you feel? So if you're feeling super stressed out, let's uncover some of the other layers of stress, because stress is this big, bubbly word that there's always something deeper. So how does it make you feel? It makes me feel blank. Now ask yourself, why does it make me feel blank? I'm going to go through a couple just simulations with you here. So how does it make you feel? It makes me feel really overwhelmed. Why does it make me feel overwhelmed? Because I want to do a good job. I want to be perfect. I want people to like me. I want to keep this job. Okay? You might answer that question differently. How does it make you feel? It makes me feel panicked. Why does it make you feel panicked? Because my body is reacting to the stress in noticeable ways, right? Maybe you're losing some of the blood circulation to your hands. That's making you feel panicked. There's a physical reaction in your body. Or maybe just because you want to be able to control everything. And when you don't have control over everything, then there's panic that comes into your body. You might answer that question in a third way. How does it make you feel? It makes me feel like I can't get everything done. Well, why does it make you feel like you can't get everything done? Because I'm already behind, or because I have too much on my plate. So you guys see how this works? We're excavating under the layer of that stress and that panic that Amy asked about in her question, so that we can see that the issue is actually less about panicking when work is stressful. Because, side note, that's a normal response. It is a normal response to have panic after stress. So you say, oh my God, I'm so stressed, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm panicked. Those things go hand in hand with each other. So the emotions you're having are completely understandable. They make perfect sense. So to get rid of those emotions that don't feel so good though, we have to go to the underbelly of the issue. So let's use some examples from before. I am overwhelmed at work. I feel this way because I need to keep this job and I'm afraid of losing this job. And then we want to ask, what is the worst thing that could happen? What is the worst thing that could happen if you lost your job? Is that worst thing really as bad as your body is making it out to be? And can we talk our body out of some of that fight, flight, or freeze through asking ourselves empowering questions? Okay? I just did a podcast episode on this recently about empowering versus disempowering questions. So part of our empowering question is going under the belly of this issue instead of just asking, how do we avoid it? Let's use another example. So I am panicked. I feel this way because I want to be able to control everything, and I don't have control of everything right now. What is the worst thing that would happen if you didn't have control over everything? Okay? You tell me, what is the worst thing that could happen if you didn't have control over everything? Let's use a third example. I can't get everything done. And I feel this way because I have too much on my plate. My to-do list is really long. Ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen if you didn't get everything done? What's the worst thing that could happen? Now, as you start to think about that, how did you get in my head? Won't the works end? Oh, won't the world, I got you. So where are there opportunities to change your beliefs to ones that support, in this case, a stress-free life? So instead of, I might lose my job, I'm so panicked, I'm so afraid, I'm so stressful of losing my job, what if you change the programming in your brain to say, that would be okay? So going back up to, what is the worst thing that would happen if you lost your job? What's the worst thing? You might have to find another job. You might have to move home for a little while. You might have to cut back on some finances for a little while. But maybe it also opens up an entire avenue for you of a more aligned path of what you really want to be doing. That you aren't allowing your body to step out of what doesn't feel good. But when you get super stressed, that's a sign, that's a signal. What is your body trying to tell you? Let's listen to it. Let's understand why we feel that way. What is the underbelly? And then what is the worst thing that would happen if some of these thoughts came true? And then we reprogram the brain. So instead of, I might lose my job, holy fucking shit, that's scary. How about, let's be okay with that. Let's detach from this job. It's just one job, right? There's other jobs out there. So I want you guys to try this. Let's just do a little bit of tapping on the energy meridian endpoints of the body. So we'll start with the inner eye. And this may or may not relate to you today, but you can change the words if you want. So first you're going to enter the fear. What is it creating that stress? And in this case, it's I might lose my job. So you would just say, I might lose my job. Outer eye, I might lose my job. Under your eye, I might lose my job. You're feeling all the emotions that come along with this. Under your nose, I might lose my job. Under your chin, I might lose my job. Chest, I might lose my job. Under your arm, I might lose my job. Top of your head, I might lose my job. Now we're going to reprogram and put something new in. So going back to that inner eye, but that might be okay. I might be just fine. It might be okay if I lose my job. Maybe that would open up some new paths for me, for something that is more aligned. It might be okay to lose my job. Maybe I want to lose my job. Maybe there's something better out there for me. Okay, take a deep breath in and out. And maybe more aligned opportunities will open up for you. So we can do this with each of these situations. You can tap on the fear. Is the fear that you might lose your job? Is the fear that you're not perfect? Is the fear that you might not have control of everything? You might not be able to get everything done. What is that fear? Insert that into that first round and then reprogram with that thought that's going to be more supportive. So instead of, I can't get everything done. It could be life supports me. So let's just go through that one too. I don't feel like I can get everything done. I just can't get everything done today. This is so overwhelming. I just feel like I can't get everything done. There is so much on my plate, and it's causing me so much stress. There is so much to get done today. So much to do today. And then go back to your inner eye. But I trust that everything will work out okay. And that life supports me. Life supports me. Life really, really supports me. And the universe has my back. And everything's going to be okay. Life supports me. And again, you just take a deep breath afterwards. And it's okay. It's okay to ask. So in this case, when you feel like you can't get everything done, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to talk to your supervisor and tell them, I'm freaking stressed out. It's also okay to realize that maybe that job isn't for you, right? So see what comes up, what surfaces, what's underneath that layer of stress. And instead of just trying to remedy the stress, can you get to the root of the issue that's causing that stress in the first place? Go through, do the tapping, reprogram to a more supportive thought, understand what the fear is, ask yourself if that's really true. I think you're going to feel a lot better. Okay. Love you. See you soon.